Good morning, good morning, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trading floor edition. Now, there's a lot that we have to go through. I'm just making sure all my audio stuff is okay. Looks like it's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get right to the charts. Let's see. All right, so this is pretty much the market as a whole, and yeah, we had a nice little sell off on NQ, and if there was a term buy the dip, that whole entire day yesterday was a complete buy the dip. That's what it was. That's what it boils down to. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let me move this muffin out the way. All right. So here we go. Let me clear out all the drawings. We're gonna start all the way over. This is a nice little setup that I'm seeing here on NQ. I think what they're trying to do is align something like this of a channel. And will this channel be like a little bit of a burrow until it burrows right up until making some new highs? So this is going to be very interesting because we broke new highs roughly around Thursday, and they tried to hold it and they had to come back to something. So I think this is the channel that they're building in that case. So that's going to be very fun to see. Another way to look at it is the fact that we do have a downtrend. We have this solid little downtrend here, and then we got this overall overarching uptrend. And if you're taking any of my classes, I've explained to you how uptrends work, right? So we got a nice little uptrend. This little angle right here where the price action kind of got lower, but then we made this new high, which is now our current all-time highs. You have to adjust that angle because that is your swing low to make that high. So this is actually the true angle of the trend line. Now, I know some people like to argue with me sometimes. I'm like, well, what about this angle here? Well, now it's not touching here anymore, and that's only because this swing low was strong enough to not only take out the bears here and recapture it, and it went ahead and made new highs. So for every higher high, there has to be a higher low. So nothing. If you want to do what came first, the chicken or the egg, the higher low came first before the higher high. So a lot of traders get into a lot of trouble because when they take a trade, they're like, oh, here goes a higher high, and then they take in more higher highs and they get baited into manipulation, swing low, boom, and then all that pain. So you end up being part of liquidity. But the higher low, if you can anticipate the higher low, you should be in a better position. All right, enough teaching. Let's get to it. Let's get rid of this. I'm gonna go ahead and start all the way over with oil. Again, remember this. Oil is in this complete and utter order block. Like it just doesn't want to fall, and it doesn't want to gain anything either. Let me switch this up. Change this into my order blocks. There we go. And what just happened? Oh, I know what happened. Lower time frame. I think it is. Yep. Let me fix this. Visibility. And once. Boom. And save as. That way I don't have that issue again. All right, so if we look at it, right, this is basically the order block we've been on ever since here. Well, when we broke through in 2014, this is the thing that really bounced us up. Again, like I said, we had negative barrels over here. This is the area that we bounced right back up, tested, and then they held it. And this is the order block that made that all-time high where gas was just ridiculously priced. We have been on this downtrend ever since. I need my rain line for this one. Ever since the height after the pandemic, and all we did is consolidate inside of this order block. So I know I made a smaller order block before, but this one is probably really the order block. That's why we're kind of going up and down inside of this range. So now that we look at it like this, let's look at the daily. When we look at this, we can see it looked like the market is just taking any bounce, any reversal that happens here. Here's one here. That would have paid you out 1,000 ticks and more. This was that reversal here. That was about nine. I thought almost. Oh, actually 13,000. I thought it was gonna be like 900. And then we could just keep on doing this game. This one was a little choppy. Showed 700 pullback. Shows 900 pullback. And then when it broke through the range, it got up into here showing 1900. Just depending on how you structure yourself. And then because there's this top area, any weakness that you see on the top. They broke back in here, nice impulsive candle. That's about 800 ticks. So just depending on how you want to structure this, you can look at this as a complete order block and play inside of the range. When it gets to the bottom of the range, play for the rejection. And that should be your way of looking at oil. All right, let's go. This is supposed to be gold. You see, all right, boom. All right, so gold, I told y'all this before, and actually, let me get rid of this one. You could kind of see we went ahead and gave this up 2,800. That was a nice, good relative test of price action there, and we got this angle that started all the way from here back here October 23rd, October 2023, right? So boom, there's your angle. That's your uptrend. This thing is still bullish. Here's your deviation. Boom. That is your all-time high. If this thing can recapture everything that the bears did in this short-term trend, we'll go ahead and mark this off like this. Look at that. We're looking for an explosion out of this to go recapture all of that. That's what we're going to be looking for in gold. All right. And then, of course, silver. I'm not going to change the chart on this, but you can kind of see we're getting this bounce. This is the backside of this downward trend that we went ahead and broke out of. It did not recapture that area. Could this be the catalyst if silver starts to take up? I already told you $30 was the area to buy that bounce. That was a few weeks ago. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. So this was that area. Nice little bounce. Continue to the upside. Is going to drag gold with it. British pound. British pound is making lower lows. So that means the dollar is strengthening. Well, at least it should be. And that's probably why we're having this whole entire spike back up to the upside from the market, because it's probably giving us those. We're not going to go ahead and be in sync with the market, because when we're going down, the market should be going down and the dollar should be going up. I'm going to show you what I mean when we get over there. This is ES. You can kind of see nice little consolidation as we try to break out of here. Kind of look like NQ. And then here's the Russell. Russell's coming back to retest the area. I'm going to get rid of this drawing. If we take a trend line, or a ray line actually in this one, this was the one that kind of gave us that catalyst to kind of continue to that upside. I kind of tweaked that a little bit. Boom and boom. Right? So this is where we are looking for our upside, and then this is our deviation here that created that swing low, and this is our higher high. I really wanted to come test here, but you already know we got this order block. Look at this. Wick here responded. Wick here responded. Probably about right around this area here. And then that's our area of bounce. So this one is probably going to test the angle of this downtrend, and we may consolidate and range right into here. We're going to see how the Santa rally happens with ES. I'm sorry, with Russell. And then here's the dollar, the infamous dollar, right? I'm going to erase all of this, but I want to just kind of recap where we came from. Oh, the market's open. This is the whole entire setup from the pandemic recovery back down here, and this is what drove our bull market now. They kept on driving the dollar down. Now the dollar is starting to come back to levels it hasn't seen since October 2023. Isn't that the start of our bull run? So this is going to be very interesting as we get deeper into the end of the year. So just keep this in mind. The level is 107.345. All right, so let's go into NQ. If you have not been on my floor before, it's a very simple setup that I like to do. Actually, I didn't even turn on this light. There we go. Yeah, you gotta show my beautiful face. All right, so if you haven't been on my floor before, the way I to trade, I do only one type of setup, which is opening range breakout. Now, the opening range breakout, we kind of base everything on the 15-minute, which is the first 15 minutes of the market open, and the first 5-minute candle that closes above that level or below that level, respectively, is the direction that we're going to play. Now, some of them are short, some of them are continuation, but the goal is for us to take the opportunities that's presented in front of us and try to avoid the range. Now, the other setup that we use is also part of my market dominance. Market dominance allows for us to kind of anticipate what the next candle will be, and we try to play towards that direction. So if we get a nice impulsive move, we're probably going to go ahead and play some of that reversal so we can go ahead and capture some of the profit taking that's being done. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the chart. So what does opening range breakout mean? All right, so let's go look at the first 15 minutes. So first 15 minutes, we kind of started a little bit red, and we're coming from a downward trend in itself. So that's probably that pullback that we're getting. Let me go check some of my positions. Oh, Coinbase and anything around it. I got some Misty shares, which is MSTR. That thing is kind of moving. So I'm gonna have to check out. Let me turn this off. I'm gonna have to check out Coinbase for y'all in a little bit. But yeah, so what we're looking for in an open range breakout is assuming that this is the end of this candle and we already survived 15 minutes, right? This high right here, we would go bullish above this level. And if this was our low at the time, we'll go bearish below that level. Just very simple, right? So we're looking for a nice little 5-minute candle to just kind of break out and close below, and then probably have some wicks like this or whatever the case may be, right? That's what we're kind of looking for in itself. Or if it does to the upside, we'll play it to the upside. That's all we're looking for. We want confirmations so that way we can be able to play towards that direction in itself. All right. Check my messages. Okay, nothing there, nothing there. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and take a peek at my red list. Oh, actually, no. I had an alert and a setup on waste management. I was considering taking a position in this one, and I may still consider to do so. So let me go ahead and break this down for y'all. So I was looking at the weekly, and if we look at the weekly, we're kind of coming off of making new highs, right? Kind of peaked out around here, and then we got to like 230. If we look here, the stochastic is pointing down, but we're starting to kind of like, yeah, give back the MACD. Could this be a pullback because they know they want to go ahead and go higher? That is what I'm very curious about. So we're getting a little bit of mixed signals on the weeklies, but that's not what we're here for. On the daily, I think that was the pullback. So if this stochastic can actually cross to the upside, this thing will make things very, very, very fun. So I'm looking at the 4-hour, and I was considering taking a position from yesterday, but what made me pause is the MACD is not in the best position itself. So I'm thinking maybe since now we bounced off of this 219 with a stop loss from around 216, I might, if I can find a nice low entry, might take this and try to see if I can get up into that 225 level. So if you ever played waste management, this is a good little setup that I'm very, very curious about, and I think this one could open up a printer up to about $5 or so. All right, so that's that one. Let's go over UNH. UNH, my baby. I love UNH, but it is not holding up that order block that I was looking at. So I did not take any positions here. You can kind of see some of my drawings. I was looking at this to happen. Let's go ahead and cut this. Let's start all the way over. I like to clean up sometimes when it's just way too much information. All right, so we got this downward trend right here. And let's see, we got, this is our overall trend. So I'm gonna grab a ray line. This is our overall trend right about here. And then when we made this higher high, I can adjust it to that swing low. So we get a little bit of a wedge action, but that wedge action looks like they're fighting that battle. So I'm going to think that this area with all this jambalaya rice order block, or actually, you know what, let me come up to the weekly so it doesn't confuse anybody. This whole entire area right here where the bears had control, but they didn't really make any lower lows. Where the bulls had controls, but they didn't make any higher highs. It was until the bears or the bulls took over, or the bears gave up and capitulation down here, and they just went ahead and rocketed this and made the new highs. So I'm assuming for those that felt like they missed out on the action, that they are thinking about buying somewhere around here, maybe even as high as here. So there's no more new buyers stepping in, so they're waiting for as much sellers that can go ahead and bring this down. So we're going to see how that really pans out, or a break of this downward trend line possibly to play. So I'm going to really, actually, you know what? Let me just do this. Break out, and we'll see what happens from there. Not a position, but I'm curious if this will break out. All right, let's go back over to NQ and see what is happening over there, because we want to go ahead and get our 15 minutes set up. Let's update it. All right, looks like our high is already set, but they went ahead and got a little bit lower, so that's our low right now. And this 15-minute, that MACD is looking real bearish. They look like they're going to give up all their lunch money now. Let's see, let's come up to a higher time frame, see what's going on. We got a fair value gap that's right here. Maybe that's what they're looking for, possibly. That. Possibly looking for that area as a place for them to kind of target. Maybe that's what they're looking for. We'll see. We will see. Maybe we get a nice little bounce retrace, and then we'll probably play the retracement down and get the rest of it. All right, so that is that. What else I have in this red list? Oh, Pan W. I kind of told y'all about cybersecurity a while back. Pan W is one of them that I like because they haven't made any CrowdStrike like errors. Oh, and they have earnings tonight, so this is gonna be very interesting. All right, so we got boom boom. So I'm gonna just use this one right here, and this is our swing right here. Swing low to this high. I don't know. Maybe they're a little tired. Got a little bit of a divergence happening, so we're making. Come on, get there. Thank you. We're making this while the histogram is making that, but our oscillator is making that. So there's a little bit of confusion, and I think it's probably because of earnings. So I would say just be a little conscious on this one. But right now, the trend that we're trying to break is this one right here. And right now, they kind of popped it up, and see if they can get there. Starbucks. Now, Starbucks has yet to do that area that I've been plotting on. I've been plotting on this area, see if we can fill this right back down. Dividends is paid. That's already done. Earnings is missed, but that new CEO is probably what's buoying this and holding it up. Let's see if anybody just starts to lose confidence. Let me get rid of these drawings and start all over. Yeah, it's very choppy here. I would say if this trend right here breaks, this thing's probably going to take out everything along the way, and then we'll probably play into the gap. All right, let's go back over to NQ. Let's see what's happening over in NQ. We got like 7 minutes into the market. Settles our first 15 minutes. And then we could go ahead and play our opening range. Yep, they're still making lower lows. It would suck if they already filled this fair value gap before we could get in here. If that's the case, I may be more concerned of playing to the upside, but we'll see. We will see. It made another lower low. Still falling. Free falling. Let's see if it can give me a longer wick. Yeah, they're going straight for that fair value gap. Or they might be coming right to this bottom area in itself and trying to bounce it. All right. All right, we'll come back to that because this is way too far for us to try to play it, and we're going to leave that alone. So let me go ahead and get my volume list. Let's see who's giving up their lunch that's making this thing fall down. All right, let me just sort it by market cap. All right, looks like Microsoft is down a little bit. Let me refresh this over here. Microsoft is down just a smidge. Eli Lilly has some high volume. That's up here on my list right now. Johnson & Johnson. Oh, UNH just did something fun. Let's go check out UNH. Yeah, finally got up into that level. I'm looking for it to reject because of here. And I wanted to get some type of key support. Let's see if I was doing this on a daily. Let's do a 1 hour chart. That 1 hour is pretty bearish, and we got a bullish divergence right here. Could this bullish divergence be strong enough to go ahead and take this all the way up to that upside? Possibly. Let's toy with that theory. Let me go see what the contracts look like. Okay. That's interesting. They changed Power E-Trade into Power E-Trade Pro. One was web-based, and it looked like they're forcing us to a new version. Okay, that's gonna be fun. I'll give that a try a little bit later. All right. Let me go ahead and switch my thing around, and we'll go ahead and look at this. So I'm looking at UNH for a possible push to this upside, and assuming that this bullish divergence is going to play out a little bit longer than there. Oh, I am getting upset because this thing is just scoring right through that block, and I have not looked at a contract yet. Probably tardy to the party. I might have to wait for a pullback. That is just way too strong right now. Let me see something. Let me come to a 15-minute chart. It's breaking through the MACD. Let's see what the Stochastic is looking like. The Stochastic might be pinned with such a push like this. Yep. Yeah, there it goes. Pinned. This is really the position, but of course that's a divergence. Wouldn't get in on that. Yeah. I'm going to calm down a little bit, and I'm probably going to look from that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Let me see the weekly. Yeah, I think the real play would have been for a short time than a long time, and it did trigger my alert, which would have been a great spot to enter, but it looks like it's already ran away. I'm gonna sit back and watch it, but a good contract, if I probably would have been somewhere in December, probably December expiration, and if I were to get it when that alert happened, and got something that was like maybe a couple $100. Let's see, where is my IV? All right, looks like that had 1800K. This so that probably would have been this contract. Let's look at this chart. I'm curious on how it would have looked like if we were toying with it. I think people already accumulate. Zoom out. So this contract is going for, it was going for $1. Yeah. It gives you a nice example. So right here, this contract towards the end of the day closed at $1. Probably had a nice little push early this morning around that dollar, and then now it's at $2.50. So that was the 640 calls on December 20th expiration. If this thing can catch that, it should get a nice little bounce. Got my beast mode kicked in. All right, so that's basically letting me know you can keep an eye on UNH. I'm gonna go over to NQ. Let's see what we have here. Normally when I get that alert, it usually means that the 5-minute may be starting to get exhausted, and you could kind of see that nice exhaustion from the 5-minute. So we may come back and fill that fair value gap back up there. Let me prepare for a scalp, or we'll get a breakthrough and then we'll get the rest of this fair value gap. But they might be dirty enough to do this with a close of our 5-minute below, but then the momentum of this will bring us down and just continue all the way down. Very, very, very possible. But again, we're looking for safe entries. Safe entries. We are not here to gamble. We're looking for good trades. Yeah, they broke a lot of levels from last night. If this 5-minute actually does a bounce, I may consider doing a quick little scalp. Let me put this up here. A quick scalp to the upside. I'm still a little bearish, but I do think that there's going to be a bit of a bounce here. Look how wide these wicks are. Microsoft, I know that's what you meant to say. I don't know what MAFT is, but Microsoft. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, actually, I got some Microsoft calls. There's probably a good. Whoa, you got Microsoft puts? No, you're my enemy. I'm thinking Microsoft is going to get a little bit of a bounce going into the Santa rally. That's what I'm thinking. But right now, I am down a bit, but I got all the way into, when did I get this? January. Got some January calls. We got 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and it looked like we're getting into that almost bullish state, but they really beat up that 15 minute. Look at that. That is still wide open. Any one of these can just go ahead and flip on you and then probably hold that fair value gap that we put in on this 5 minute. Very possible. He said puts now. Oh, just for today. Yeah, I could see that. Let's go over to Microsoft while we wait for this 5 minute to close. Yeah, that was a lot of momentum going into that block. Oh yeah, look at that 5 minute. Here's that 15 minute opening up like it's going under there. You got some imbalances right here that will bring us back to 413. But that 15 minutes pinned. Let's see what the daily looks like. Yeah, indecisive. What you would love to have is this 11 minutes closes into that bearish state, and then whatever fair value gap that they start to build, maybe somebody just waits for a pullback and slams it one more time. That'll be that next push to that downside. Oh, let's go back over to NQ. I think this thing is setting up something. 5 minute. But yeah, that was a 76 tick bounce right off of that support. We'll see. We'll see. Also, if you don't have to, oh, you should have told me that the first time. Oh, let me get over there. 12 minutes. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that MACD, you're starting to get that first stage where they're like, yo, we about to dump this. You just need that second stage to come in. Like, what if this signal line could come right through that zero line? That thing should open up the floodgates. Let me see. The volume should be picking up on Microsoft. Let me see how the volume looks now, because it was on top of my screener. Yep, it's at 1.4 million right now. Let me do a refresh. 1428. I think it's starting to pick it up, knowing that this thing is probably going to end up falling. You want that volume to grow along the way, but we'll see. Needs to break this low, 414. Oh, our 5 minutes up. Let me go over to NQ real quick. Let me see how we close. Did we close up below? No. And be careful with that put right now, Neil. Let me see something, because I may go ahead and scalp this to the upside. May. Not saying it will. May. Oh, today is Wednesday. Hold on. What am I doing? I forgot. I gotta go ahead and check the news. My FX book is one of my favorite spots. I like to go ahead and get my economic news. But there's so many different ones. My Forex Factory on all of them. But I prefer my FX book. We got oil inventory that's coming in 38 minutes. And oh, there wasn't much news today. Just mortgage interest rates. That's about it. So what are we dropping on? 20-year bond is going to be around 1 o'clock. depending on what the results there, probably could make the market bounce. So look out for 1 p.m. since there's light news except for oil inventories. Actually, that said, let's go over checking out oil. All right, let's look at it on the 1 hour. Kind of inverse head and shoulder on the 1 hour. Kind of janky looking. Kind of had one that was built right here and failed, and then it made a bigger one here. Kind of. Maybe like this. More so. Very interesting little setup that it's doing right now. Let's see. All right. NQ is doing something that I thought it was going to try to do. So maybe going in. All right. Let me go ahead and switch this over to NQ so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's the 5 minute. I'm just looking at these long wicks. If they could lighten up this 5 minute, this could be the base of the fact that they're going to try to turn the stochastic up. I'm looking for them to break above, what level is this? 56, 656. If we can get above there and hold, I'll probably have something along that with, I don't know, maybe I'll do it like a 5-point stop or a 10-point stop. Yeah, they're toying with it, but I know it's because of the bearish momentum. So that's why I was saying 5 to 10-point stop, something a little shallow, knowing that they're trying to get this pushed up, but the bears are not lifting their finger off the button. I was looking for it to kind of bounce off of this area and give me some cushion, but it's struggling to do so. But what I do like is that my 5 minute is trying to make higher highs and higher lows. So I'm kind of looking at this here as a possibility. Oh, took the stop. So I have my stop right there just in case. Looks like they took that out. But again, this was a quick little, maybe they're going to go ahead and go for this fair value gap. But this looks like it's probably building some steam in that fair value gap. All right. Let's see if this momentum here is strong enough to get us under here and take out this fair value gap and get into like 611, 612, but we want the 5 minute to close below here. They're like they're sweeping back and forth. I think they're looking for liquidity. Because we started to like really start to look like we're gonna break down, come back into this lower register. This area actually was tested and they almost made a lower low. Yep, they just made the lower low. And there's the fair value gap. I'm probably going to try to use the fair value gap as a bounce area, but now that it kind of made that lower low, it's making me think that we're going to continue to that downside. I'm going to be patient with this. If we break below, what level was that? Here, 682. 682. I'm probably going to go ahead and consider short, but again, be smart. We're way, hey, what's going on, Papa Pro? What's going on? Make sure you wait for the 5 minute to close below for the opening range breakout. My more riskier advanced traders, you might be considering getting in now and filling the fair value gap. That's okay too, but just make sure you're smart with your stop losses. Let's see if we can get to the center point of that fair value gap. We're going to get a new 1 hour candle soon. I don't think the bulls really had any control, so I'm thinking continuation. Oh, that's good to hear, Papa Pro. Good to hear. Let's see what the market does with that. So I got a target of this level here, 611, but it look like party is starting. Might get one of those where it gets down there on the 5 minute and doesn't leave anything for us for our opening range breakout setup. That would be annoying if they did that. All right, Neo. But yeah, here we go. Come on. Come on, baby. So I'm actually in with a small position. I did not go my full position, but the 5 minute does look like it is looking good. All right. So now time to weather some type of pullback because it might give us one of those things. But we're almost to the 50% of that fair value gap. I'm looking at that 211 price. All right. Let's see what they do with it now that they didn't even touch it. They're probably going to pull this back. Here's the new 1 hour candle. Assuming that the opening range breakout holds its position, that's what I'm kind of banking on. All right, rejection somewhere around here. Unless they make a new higher high, trying to recapture all of it. And I've noticed that a lot with the opening range breakout, they recapture all of it. I'm looking for them to get back to that almost that 11 area where we just bounced off of. Let's see if we get that, because we didn't even get all of it or the 50% of it, so they try to stop it short. All right, so this is the area we just bounced off of. Good pullback. This could be a good entry, possibly here. That's the 50% mark. Let's see if we can break through. I have about 300 on the board. Looking for a complete breakdown here. If not, probably stop out like 200 bucks or so. That's our opening range breakout. Come on, let's go ahead and continue down. I have a target of 585. All right. Oh, whoa, that was a nice little spike up. Had 200 on the board and it turned it to 100. They are not letting this level. Let's see if we are we in a psychological level. Yeah, we're getting close. That's the 600 level. All right, so if you are in this position, it's probably going to give you one more spike through if we can get under this level. Yep, there we go. Under here. All right, I'm looking forward to just get the rest from here. Let's see if we can get that. If you're happy with your profits, by all means, you can take it. But I'm targeting the entire fair value gap, which should bring us down to here. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. Get all the way down there. All the way down. All the way down. Come on. All the way down. All the green. All that smoke. All right. And there we go. Boom. Made 800 bucks. And I'm going to go ahead and take 2 runners off again if this thing starts to pull back that I don't like. Come on, get through there. Let's go find ourselves another target. Between these splits, 577. Let's see if we can get to 577. Bang. Go through it. Go through it. If it shows me any inclination, I am taking 2 of these contracts. Oh. Or you could just keep on going. Let's fall. Let's go. Right to the target. Let's go. I got 300 more added. All right. I'm going to take that because they're trying to pull it back some. Slowly scale myself out. That was my target for my alert of continuation. Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare come back up here. I want that trend line. I want that trend line. Come back here and test over here. That's where the real buyers are. All right. All right. Come on. Lower lows. Come on, take the wick and make a lower low like you've been doing all morning. You're smelling like you want to bounce. Come on, lower low. Get to that trend line. Don't you dare come up here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Oh, so nice. Made a new lower low. All right, now take over. Let's get to that trend line. I don't like when you do candles like that. All right, taking one more contract off. I'm down to my last one. Oh, and little FYI, I kind of bloopered uh, last week, or actually yesterday, and that's what happens when you trade and work at the same damn time. And I told myself you're on punishment, so you're not allowed to go into your evaluation except in MNQ. So whenever I feel like I did something wrong, I literally go down my leverage 10 times. And plus, what I like about MNQ, it lets you scale out a little bit more sharper, but the fees are more expensive. That's why I don't like it so much. I prefer to be on NQ. Oh, if you make a lower low, I dare you. I dare you to make a lower low here. They're trying to build a base before we get to that trend line, but I want that trend line. This is a trend line that was built back here as far back as October 23rd. So I think this is a good line for them to test. I think the bulls realize if it gets tested, it probably lose some confidence by new bulls coming in. So I think that's why they're trying to catch it here. But if we can liquidate them here, we test that trend line, we'll find out where the real bulls stand. All right, some of the oscillators I have reset it. Are we gonna do a drop? Oh yay, they did. Oh, did it get to my trend line? I'm too far. I'm too far. I can't see. I can't see. Almost. Almost. Come on. You're almost there. You're almost there. I got like $100 left in this ride, and I refuse to take less than, I don't know, $75. Go ahead, test that line. Test it. Test it. I'm telling you, the bulls are like, wait, we gotta hold the wall. Come on, baby. If this thing shows me like $90 after I just had 130, I might have to go ahead and chalk the deuces on this trade. Don't you liquidate me. Come on, baby. You got it. This is a new 5-minute candle and it didn't have no muscle. Telemarketers, leave me alone. 150. All right, there we go. Oh, we gonna break through the line? I'll take that too. All right, let's go look for new targets because this thing looks like it's gonna break through. All right, so you're probably coming for this wick here, so be careful when it gets close to there. If you're still in your opening range breakout, I suggest considering taking something off the table. If you got one contract, just take your one contract off because it can bounce something violent here. All right, no need to risk money. There's no such thing as house money. I got $200. I am not gonna let this thing go under 175. Oop, it's going under 175. Nah, we ain't friends no more. We out of here. We are out of here. All right. So now that I added some more capital, let me go ahead and pull up my P&L screen. I couldn't do that while I was trading at the same time. Let me go ahead and boom right there. So little FYI, here we are there, and I got $1,126 off that drop using micros. So technically with 10 times the leverage. That would have been about $11,000, but we'll have that conversation at a later time. That said, we're so close to 10:15, and we had a nice little drop. If you like what you see, by all means, DM me on Instagram, JD underscore the grade. I am also on Discord. I am also on Twitter. By all means, you can go ahead and message there. I am going to start my classes again on January. I do apologize, I know, but this is my season. This is when I make the most money in my transportation business. So I cannot cater to y'all so much. But if you want to learn more, by all means, DM me. Also, if you are a seasoned trader and you don't have a prop firm, the two days left on the sale for Elite, 90% off. That's $16, as low as $16 that you can pay for a prop firm account. By all means, click the link down below. Get that. It helps the channel. You already know how that goes. And then I will see y'all tomorrow again at 9:15. Hopefully on time, but you can see I'm still in my work clothes. And we'll go ahead and do this all over again. That was a great opening range breakout, play by play. We did really well. I understand that, seeing that from the top, you probably were like, oh, I wish I could go ahead and get it from all the way up here. Yeah, that's the wish. But again, we just want to play a simple strategy. This one aligned perfectly with my potential reversal for my 45-minute market dominance, and we went ahead and took that trade accordingly. So that's it. Thank you. Hope y'all make more money, and we'll see you tomorrow 9:15. Have a great day.